Satan Fadenia Mitrata. A friend of a friend discovered this little sucker back in 1972. Hi, I'm Dr. Plants from Dr. Plants World of Plants, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Lessons in Plants with Dr. Plants from Dr. Plants World of Plants. A lot of people tell me, they come up to me, they say, Mr. Plants, how do you know so much about plants? Stop right there. It's Dr. Plants. I didn't win back-to-back triple Nobel Prize in plants, botany, and scientific exploration 3 times in a row, 3-peat doubles, for nothing. It's Dr. Plants. Let's get that right. They ask me, how do you get so smart about plants? Do you read a lot of books about plants? And frankly, I don't. I don't read any books. I read one book. It's the only book you're ever really gonna need to read if you want to understand the mystery of plants. That's a good fucking book. Let's take a look at my favorite section. Right here, marked handily by a ginkgo leaf. These things will make you smarter. So as you read, you get smarter. All kind of pages, printed on paper, made of plants. I love it already. Let's look at this table of contents. Plants and ESP. Extrasensory perception. Use the genius of plants. Plants can read your mind. That's chapter 2 already. We're getting right to the point. Plants that open doors. Doors of perception. Doors of reality. Doors to other levels. Visitors from space. We've proceeded along the subject matters that really capture my attention quite well in this one book. That's why I don't read any books, and I don't recommend you really waste your time with just kind of filler and junk. Latest Soviet discoveries. Okay, so, I mean, Bernie people are going to like this too. Plant life magnified 100 million times. Let me just tell you about one of my favorite chapters, about one of my favorite men. The Wizard of Tuskegee. One of the founding fathers of botany himself, George Washington Carver. Now, this man discovered a great plant we call the groundnut. We call the peanut. I'm talking Georgia gold. Now, these things, they're not just hog food. You can eat them yourself. But the magic is you can make many, many things from these plants. Reese's. You can make peanut butter. I don't know, you make tires out of these things for all I know. But I'm telling you, George Washington Carver discovered this through the magic of plants. Now I'm going to read you an excerpt so you can understand the science of plants. Well, something the Wizard of Tuskegee once said in his own life. Here we are. Not long before Carver's death, that's George Washington Carver, a visitor to his laboratory saw him reach out his long, sensitive, spindly fingers to a little flower on his workbench. When I touched that flower, he said rapturously, I'm touching infinity. It existed long before we were human beings on this earth, and will continue to exist millions of years after. Through that flower, I talk to the infinite. And I tell you what, there's nothing wrong with talking to plants. Bro, you smell awesome. This plant, yeah, dude. What's up? Tell you something. I love these fucking plants.